You're watching New Car Spin. This is the Acura MDX. Now, it's kind of windy outside, but I'm going to take you out and show you the exterior. It loves to beep at me. Now, it's similar to the RDX. Let's see if I can... There we go. We got some wind block here. It's obviously blue. Huge tailpipes. SH-AWD, which does not mean SH-AWD, it means super handling all-wheel drive. And it's the A-Spec. So let me give you a quick walk around of what the A-Spec is. It's available on all Audis now as of... Did I just say Audis? I mean Acuras. It's been a long day, and it's a Friday, and it's 100 degrees out, and I just want to get this over with. Okay, there it is. You're watching New Car Spin. I'm your host, Brian Grant. That is an Acura, not an Audi. And A-Spec being available on 2019 Acuras, all of them. This is one of them. And, well, let's get inside. I want to tell you a few things. Oh, by the way, this is a 3-row SUV. Let's just open this up. Hurry up. That took forever. Similar to the Mazda CX-9. Almost touched the glass. Not my favorite thing. And oh yeah, I don't know if this is a prototype vehicle or if this is a production vehicle. But I posted something on Instagram the other day, and I noticed the interior should be black, but it's not. Let me close this. Check this out. By the way, you do have keyless entry, and that's also good for the back doors, which is nice. The back seat reclines, it slides, it's a Honda back seat. The weird thing, though, is the third belt is up here, and I don't think I'm a fan of that. And I didn't notice that in the RDX, but we have second row HVAC controls, but you'll notice this center console between the front seats. It's not exactly black, is it? Looks pretty brown to me. And that's also on my Instagram post. And I noticed there's no brown in this car except for there. And I don't know why. But also, there's no shade for the back seat, which is a shocker, and I'll tell you why. Just keep watching. Keep watching. Okay, power seats. Piping here, contrast piping in gray with matching contrast stitch color. Not leather in the center, and not really good leather on the exterior portion of the seats on the bolster sides either. It's very inconsistent, and I'll tell you why I'm being so critical here. You can see even here it's very rough, but over there it's very smooth. It's just kind of like random assembly vehicle. All right, the door's closed, so we're preparing the cabin here. Let me tell you what I have. Let's see if I can show you here. Okay, as an MDX, which is their bigger SUV, it's Apex Blue Pearl, but it's not the red interior. This is a different window sticker. They switched cars on me. However, this one does sticker at $56,195, and it is made in Ohio. And yeah, it has features on it. It's the A-Spec tech package, and what I really want to get here is I am not an influencer, okay? I'm an automotive journalist. I have 2 memberships at 2 different press facilities, and I get press vehicles. This is a car delivered to me by Acura, just like the RDX, just like the Mazdas that have been sent to me. This is all from the same stuff. I get a new car every week, and sometimes I get 2 cars or 3 cars in a week, and it's hard to just get enough coverage for you. But I don't just regurgitate a press release. I don't just go over the key points. I drive it, and I tell you exactly what I think, because I'm not here to tell you, oh, you should just go buy one. I will tell you that if I'm really impressed. And unfortunately, you know, some of you are such diehard fanboys that you just have to thumb me down or leave some nasty comments, and that's fine. That's your thing, right? You're a fanboy. Be that way. However, you need to know that I cut right through the crap and give you the exact response that I believe these vehicles deserve. So the problem here with the MDX is that the RDX, which is new, set the benchmark so high that I'm really disappointed in the MDX. Now go watch my RDX video, because that car stickered at 47. So you save $9,000 and you get a much better vehicle. You lose a third row, but in reality, do you really need a third row? Do you? Because if you do have 4 kids, you're going to have a Tahoe or a Suburban or an Expedition anyway. You're going to have something bigger than this. So really what you're telling yourself is that you want to lie to yourself about having a third row, like a Mazda CX-9. The Atlas may not fall into that category because it is so damn big. The Durango as well. But this vehicle in itself, why? What's the point? And it is okay. It's nicely appointed. It has certain things that even the Honda Pilot has, but this has kind of better seats than the Pilot. Not as good seats as the RDX. This is kind of a pointless vehicle, so I'm going to give you a pointless review. How about that? Well, this screen, for instance, let's start here. That is the most outdated looking tech I've ever seen. Look how grainy that is. And just, it's a bunch of choppy, slow response graphics. And even the, you know what's awkward is even the voice control. If we go here,
the voice prompt can be interrupted at any time by pressing the talk button again and saying a command immediately. After the beep, say a command.
Navigation.
After the beep, say a command.
Address.
After the beep, say a command.
930 East Campbell Road, Richardson, Texas.
Texas. Richardson. East Campbell Road. After the beep, say a command.
930.
89,300.
Okay, it got me 930 East Campbell Road before, but
after the beep, say a command.
Yeah, we're gonna shut you up.
After the beep, say a command.
I'm gonna hold down this button then.
Pardon?
Cancel. Okay, so that's an inexcusable use of voice commands, and I've never had such a slow responding system, or a system that had been so linear in its logic that it fails. That's a failure right there. This is 2019, and that is a system out of 2006. Whether Honda or Acura had this system in 2006, I'll tell you that in 2006, this is what voice command systems were like. Honda, Acura needs to move on. And they did in the RDX, but not here in the MDX. And it gets worse from there. So these seats, they're so unsupportive in the center that when you sit in here, you feel every little kick from the back. So if you do have kids back here, which you will because you have a 3-row SUV, they're going to make you real miserable real quick. So kids, if you want to annoy your parents, just put your foot right through that front seat. Now, if we get past all that and we talk about the vehicle itself, yeah, it has a V6. I'm not impressed. And the worst part about this vehicle is the way it drives. If it drove well, it would kind of have a redeeming quality to it, but it doesn't. And to me, this is just a car. And I did post something the other day on YouTube Stories, which, by the way, YouTube Stories suck. I don't think I'm going to use them ever again. But I posted something saying that this car basically sucked out motivation. I'm not motivated to drive this thing. The RDX, I wanted to go everywhere and do everything in it and shift lanes and change gears and just go, 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 go. This thing, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. I need to get coffee. I need to go to the store. I need to go to the bank. Ugh, right? This car just takes the life out of me. And I can't wait to get this review over with. It's not a bad car. It's just that there are so many better things with the RDX. And yes, this is an A-Spec, but believe me, you don't really need to get all bent out of shape about it. It is a beautiful looking car on the outside, but inside, whew, no thank you. We have a tray here, we have USB ports and stuff and cup holders. It's just an old design. Look at this wasted space compared to the RDX. And this is a bigger vehicle, but it doesn't feel that much bigger anymore. The RDX feels more adequate as far as what I'm going to get out of a vehicle. This touch display drives me insane. This is the air conditioning controls. They have these two huge buttons here to tell me that I'm in recirc or not, and it changes no matter where I touch it. But if I wanted to do something like change the vented seat options, you know, if you are on auto and then you decide it's not enough and you change it to high, you lose auto completely. So there are things in here where this car is just like one-time use as far as the way these buttons work. But the really annoying one is source. So to get down to Pandora or Bluetooth, no one's ever going to go to AM, but they list it first. Okay? No one's really going to ever use a disc. I don't even know where the CD player changer thing is in here. Is it in, I don't know where. Who cares? All right? All the stuff you're going to use is down here. There's a hard drive, which I haven't used. I'm sure there's a USB option, but it's not plugged in. Pandora, okay, which is great. And then Bluetooth, going back between those, depending on whose phone's in here. And what they did was they made a list of 4 items, and then a scroll, and then you have to select this one. So it's 1, 2, 3 steps to change to your important aspect on this screen. And you've got all these buttons down here, which could have done that same function. But no. You got to go to a button here and then go down here and then select what you want. And to me, this is such an outdated user interface that the RDX blows it away again. So why get this vehicle? Oh, look, there's the CD slot. I had driven this car since Monday. Today's Friday. I didn't even know that there's a CD slot right there. Let's talk about down here, shall we? Let's put the car into drive. Just push this thing down here. Drive. And let me close the sunroof. Now it is 4:30, so it's kind of rush hour. Okay, now we're driving along. There's no heads up in here, by the way. There is a heads up display in the RDX, which is $9,000 less than this. Can you tell I'm not impressed? We're just driving along, and the ride quality seems to be a little bit more floaty than the RDX. I loved the RDX. Don't get me wrong. You know, even though I'm not an influencer, I can be an enthusiast, and I'll tell you I'm very enthusiastic about that car. Not so much about this one. All right, we're gonna come to a complete stop. Okay, they don't stop either direction, and I'm just gonna put my foot down and go for it. Okay, kind of laggy, right? Yes, very laggy. And that's not the only lag I experience in here. So that's in normal mode. You'll notice by the D there, there's kind of like a gray background to it. If I press dynamic mode here, it doesn't do anything. I have to press it a second time, and then it goes into sport. And then you'll see there's a D kind of hovering around the background. I mean, a red hovering around the background of the D. Okay. So you'd think, oh, okay, well, that's going to make this car much better. Let's let this traffic go by. Let's go. The hell is this? That was the slowest acceleration I have experienced. And what I figured out was this car, unlike the RDX with its 10-speed automatic, which isn't geared towards efficiency, you could tell that that RDX is geared towards performance. This has a 9-speed automatic, and it's totally geared towards killing the vehicle. This is a eco setup. It's terrible. It's starting off in second gear. There's nothing I can do about it unless I really, really want to plant my foot and really, really want to do something that's going to... Well, you're never going to do it unless you're really going to be aggressive. And the problem I have here is, yeah, it's an Acura. It should be fast. It should sound great. It should be really performy, like Spirited. but it's a 3-row SUV. Are you going to do that with a car full of people? No. And you have to go through so many settings here to get it to actually drive in somewhat of a normal mode as to what the RDX can do, that this car is pointless. It's bonkers. I can't figure out why I don't like it, and then I keep thinking about the RDX. And it's $9,000 less than this. Do you really need that third row? Let's go. We're still in sport mode, by the way. All right, let's get up to that signal, make a right, go along the freeway. It's rush hour. Can't even close these center vents off. Make our right turn. Foot's down. Okay, and it's like when you come out of a corner, traction control is definitely retard on the throttle here because it's trying to keep you from losing control. Floored. Look at that. Slow response. Yeah, and it's loud when you get to 4,000 RPM, but good luck getting there quickly. I have other issues too I want to bring up with you, and I can't really do that right now at this moment. All right, when you're trying to pass somebody, like when you're changing lanes and you want to get going, you put your foot down, right? So I'm gonna put my foot down. You see how long that took? We're actually lucky it downshifted 2 gears. Let's try this again. You can see my foot. Floored. Doesn't really move that much. Now the RDX had somewhat of a delay, but that's a 10 speed, but when it finally did kick into gear, it took off like a rocket. This thing just makes noise. And it would be okay if this was like a Mercedes AMG tuned exhaust or some crazy nutty thing, but it's not. All right, let's go out of this corner. Okay, so let's just say you're on the freeway speed, 50, 55, and you put your foot down. Look at that. That's floored. That's ridiculous. The gearing sucks. And this is why this car, even though it's a nice car, compared to the RDX, I just can't enjoy this thing. And there's nothing wrong with the MDX that we're in, except for the way it drives compared to the RDX. Why would you get this car? Really? I don't know. I don't see anything redeeming in here. It's supposed to have a great stereo, but it doesn't compared to the RDX. And let's go this way. We didn't make this. Okay, and then we have like our menu options here, right? So we have phone. It's just such an outdated system. Let's go for it. Now you'd think I'd be complaining and whining about it, and you're right, I really pretty much am. There is one thing though that you can do to improve the way this thing drives, and that's back down here again. Do you know what it is? Well, it's not just the auto stop start off button. It's this. You press drive one more time, and that D turns into an S. And now you start off in first gear. And now it downshifts like you expect it to. And now it holds gears as you come to a stop. Weirdly, sometimes it feels like it's disengaging and going between gears and you kind of lose momentum. The RDX never did that in its 10 speed, but now you actually get some momentum going. And it doesn't feel as lazy. But all the steps I had to take to get to this point to make it feel more like an RDX, all these steps, why would you get this car? Because you think you need a third row? Look at that, my foot's down. Okay, that took a long time. There's nothing, and it's still holding the gear. My foot's not even on the accelerator. Still holding, put my foot down, still holds, and then it shifted. Okay, there's nothing immediate about this car, which is what I was expecting something more immediate after having driven the RDX. There's no other way to explain this. What else can I tell you about this car? Feels like a glorified Honda Pilot, maybe. I just can't, like, in this situation to change lanes, I can't accelerate. I can't out-accelerate a 4Runner to save my life here. I can't move over. It's just not possible. So even if I put my foot down, because there's such a delay, I cannot time a lane change. And that's why this car is unacceptable in my mind. Look at this guy's just still sitting there. My blind spot monitor doesn't say he's in my blind spot. Now he does. It's like inches off my bumper before it activates. This is just such an old tech car. It might have tech and stuff, but it doesn't have what it takes to be a modern vehicle. This is just not modern. This is just overpriced. It's way overpriced. But we'll keep going. I'll keep the cringe going here. I know you guys like cringe, especially you Acura fanboys are not going to like this video, so you might as well just let me know below. I'd love that RDX though. Go watch that video. Yeah, just not impressed. It sounds okay in here, whether you're in sport mode or regular mode. So if I put it back into normal, the exhaust note doesn't change. Nothing really changes. I don't even know what that is. That a placebo button to begin with? Nothing in here impresses me. Nothing. And the brakes. Let's talk about these brakes. These brakes are unpredictable. So they're very sensitive at times, and then other times they're very vague. And the issue I have is when you're using the radar cruise, I cannot trust it because it accelerates so harshly and then brakes so harshly. I just can't trust it. And I wish I was dumb enough to get in stop and go traffic to show it to you, but I don't think you're dumb enough to buy this car. And again, it's not a terrible car. It's just that it costs so much money and it's not good compared to the RDX. Just get the freaking RDX and get it over with. I mean, I would do it. I don't know why you think you need a third row. Seriously. What else can I tell you? Well, four-way stop. We're stopped. We're going. It has remote start. It has... it might not have a spare tire because it's the A-Spec package. I opened the trunk. I looked down there and it said there was a thing for a spare tire, but I didn't see any way to lower it. And we don't have a panoramic sunroof in here compared to the competition, like let's just say the GMC Acadia, which I didn't like. You know, for my standards, like a third row SUV, I have really high standards for a third row SUV because they cost close enough to $60,000. And if you can't get an executive car for $60,000 anymore, why are you paying 57, 56, close enough, 60 grand for this? Like, how is this acceptable? Like, why do you think this is okay? Because the lease payment works for you? They pull some magic on the finance side? You're gonna fall for it? I'm trying to save you guys from yourselves here. Don't think I hate this car. Just think that I really think the RDX is the way to go. Regardless of what your budget is, just get the RDX. Stop selling yourself on a third row. I'm really not impressed with anything, unless of course you want a Durango, which that's my personal vehicle right there, and I never drive it because I'm stuck driving things like this for the week. Here's another thing too, by the way. You can turn the vehicle off even when it's in drive like it is now when you want to park. You just press this and that's it. Engine's off, it's in. But watch this post here when I take my foot off the brake. We roll a pretty significant amount if we don't set the parking brake. Parking brake is here. We have auto brake hold, but when I use this brake, I feel like I should pull it to set the brake and push it to release. And I just don't even bother setting it anymore. But this car has a lot of creep to it, and I'm not sure if the transmission does have a problem or if that's just how this car is. Interior wise, not impressed compared to the RDX. This doesn't have the red interior they said it has. It's not necessarily black. It's kind of like a brown color, and it's supposed to be black. There's more brown, but there's no brown in the seats. It's weird. And the office carpet for the floor mat, a little weird, Acura. That's a little weird. Trim wise, I know you can get wood trim if you get the Advance. And what else is there to tell you? Listen to the seat. This is what I want to talk about. You hear that noise? That's the lumbar. There's no massage in the seat, but the lumbar makes that sound, and I actually feel it. So if you can listen very carefully. Right? That's the lumbar all the way forward. Now, if I reduce the lumbar, listen to the seat. It's clicking and clacking, and it's like the worst seat up. It's right up there with the Honda Pilot, but the Honda Pilot was a little bit more, I don't know. This seat feels like, and it's not because this has 10,000 miles, and it's not because like it's been worn hard. This passenger seat does it too. So it's not just the driver's seat. It's not like there's a problem here. This is by design. Would you pay $56 for this? Let me know in the comments below. Please like, subscribe. I don't get paid for these things. I'm not an influencer. I'm a journalist. This is the straight dope on the Acura MDX. I hope you appreciate it. If you're a fanboy, go watch my RDX video. If you're confused, go watch my RDX video. If you want to see what compares to this, go watch my RDX video. All right, I gotta go. See you later. Bye.